Make some noise for your host, Kid Copious.
What up, perps? Kid Copious back in the bunker. Purple State Party. You know what we're doing here. We're repping America, the center, common sense, and pot. There you go. Not pop, pot. Catch my breath there for a second. And this brings me around to, one of Biden's favorite cheerleaders, my brother. I was mentioning that the Omicron doesn't seem to be as deadly, and maybe we need to ease back on everything and kind of take a chill pill. And then he sends me an article about two parents who died and left their kids, orphaned. And I said, that's exactly what I was talking about. When you pray for the winter of death, then you need a winter of death to be vindicated in that statement. And this is true. They cheer when unvaccinated people die. I know that there's a lot of mixed in the anti-vax crowd out there. It's not all just one-sided. But I can only speak on my personal opinions and who I hear it from. Even on social media, you see it. The Bidenites, the Brandons of the world. Whoopi Goldberg, stunned. She did everything she was supposed to. We can't stop it. Look, I know that's a scary thought, that there's really nothing you can do. But, I see guys in trucks sitting next to each other, and they're both wearing just kind of loose-fitting cloth masks. And I'm just like, dude, does anybody even understand how this works? Like, if one of y'all got it, you both got it at this point. You're breathing out. That mask is not doing anything. We already know right here, this has become very true. This mask is as useless as Biden. Nothing we can do. The left, 18-year-olds are not mature enough to weigh decisions about their future, so we're going to pay off their college loans. But a 16-year-old should be allowed to vote. Okay. You see, because it reminds me of the Who song, Won't Get Fooled Again. See, if you're young enough, you haven't been fooled yet. See, you get my age, and you've already been fooled 3 or 4 times, and you're like, enough is enough. If I had $1 for every lockdown politician who decided to escape to Florida over the last 2 years, I'd be a pretty doggone wealthy man. See, that's a pretty good quote from somebody who should run for president, honestly. But yeah, AOC went down there, and Swalwell went down there. You have a nitwit and a guy, 2 nitwits here. One was actually with a Chinese spy. And they're going down to Florida, even though their side badmouths Florida and hopes that Florida dies of COVID. You can't make this up, but this is showing you that pattern of they don't really care what we think anymore. They're just going to do what they're going to do because they're the powers that be. The powers that be. The powers that be. Sorry, that was a Roger Waters break. The left can't control inflation, the border, crime, the drug problems, the supply chain problems, Russian aggression, or Chinese slavery. Okay? All right, but they can control the narrative. And how they did that was with the January 6th. All right? That wasn't the first time that happened. May 2020. Police had to stop them from entering the White House. These were all left-wingers. I lost the other one, but they also rioted. Oh, yeah, it was right here. Right here, that was, I believe, January 20th of 2017. I believe Trump was getting sworn in or something. That's what it says, the inauguration. God, I'm not on my game right now. I can barely see these for some damn reason. But they were stopped. And this time they weren't. Okay, it was bad. One person legitimately, positively died that day of it, okay? And she was Ashley Babbitt, and she was shot in the head by security. Okay? It was bad. It was ugly. But at least they took the fight where it belonged. And there is reason. Well, we'll get to that in a second. But, Biden saying things like, you can't love your country only when you win. No. Okay? That's not what it's about. That's not what it's about at all. You can't obey the law only when it's convenient. Okay, are you speaking to all the looters? The smash and grab people? I mean, who? The peaceful protesters. You can't be patriotic when you embrace and enable lies. Well, we've already seen then you're not patriotic. All right? I don't embrace or enable lies. I would rather root them out. Okay? I'll let you read this one for a second here about January 6th. You know, as we've seen, the mob tried to get into the White House, okay? So both sides have done it, and you could have gotten up there and said that. You could have said both sides have acted poorly. Could have. You said you were going to try to unite the nation, but you've lost your own supporters. So they're against you now. So I guess the divide is getting wider. Kamala Harris, see, illegitimate. The 2016 was illegitimate, and that Donald Trump was an illegitimate president. She said it 2 years ago. Then she compared January 6th to Pearl Harbor and 9/11. Okay. I mean, she's just batshit crazy. That's her puppet role. It's just to say the batshit crazy stuff. She's like she's like AOC S level. You know? And this is going right back to that same theme. They don't really care. They want to control the narrative because that's all they can control. 100,000 Americans died of fentanyl. Millions illegally entered. And a few hours of them, you know, scared. A national day of mourning. You see? That's how important they think they are. And that's how unimportant the rest of us are. You know? Drugs, illegal aliens, record crime, costs getting so out of control. But I said that paper ballots, this mail-in, was going to be a bad idea because no matter who won, the losing side was going to claim foul. Okay? I personally thought it was going to be the left that was calling foul. I thought the roles would be reversed, but they weren't. But why? But why all the doubt? Now that it's over, okay? Why is there doubt? And why am I not convinced by evidence on either side right now? I'm just going with my initial you know what I'm trying to say? Because Trump was doing at least an okay job, all right? I can't really think of any really big black marks against him. You didn't like how he reacted to COVID. I get that. But in retrospect, there's nothing he could do. As we've seen, he couldn't have stopped it, okay? As you could see, his xenophobic travel bans, okay? You guys had to do it too, okay? It makes sense. It's common sense. You know, you try to stem the flow by, you know, cutting off, you know, entry into this country by people from the infected country. Makes sense, right? And Biden seemed like a poor choice. I mean, he didn't seem progressive. He didn't seem like a uniter. He seemed like somebody who had already proven to be adequate at his job as a senator. You know, he didn't do much as vice president other than help cook up the collusion. But here's just some stuff that I've heard that plays into my concerns. There's a group, and I forgot what the name was, some law group. They had to sue Los Angeles, okay, the county, to get access to the voter rolls. They hadn't cleaned the rolls in 20 years, and they removed 1.5 million voters, okay? The averages across the nation, according to the guy who I heard speaking, who's involved with it or was, I don't remember, okay, because I'm driving and I can't always write stuff down. But about 15 to 20% of the names on a voter roll are ineligible to vote for one reason or the other. They're dead. They moved to a different place. You know, it's a duplicate of a name with a misspelling. Whatever the case may be. Okay, those names exist on voter rolls, and if you got a hold of those people who essentially weren't going to vote because for whatever reason they didn't live there, they weren't alive, whatever, duplicate name, whatever, misspelled name, stuff like that, right? If you got a hold of that list and you submitted paper ballots in their names, the machine wouldn't know any different. And that's my concern, okay? That may be harder than I think, but it's what I would call reasonable doubt. Anyhow. Something about the left that really bothers me is that they are arrogant enough to think that they can take on Mother Nature, that they can control the world, that they know what's best because they learned some shit in a book. They went to a college. They went to school longer than other people. Huh. All right, so I was watching the show and I heard them say, they're burning down our rainforest for beef. And the show was set in America. And I thought to myself, it's not our rainforest. Yeah. It's arrogant of us to tell other countries. Are we providing a solution or just saying, hey, we know that you can make a lot of money from palm oil, but don't cut down any more of this ginormous rainforest? First of all, the rainforest is quite large. I believe it covers more all of Europe. I may have said America in the past, but it's actually Europe. And a lot of the so-called cleaning of the air gets done by the ocean, which is, a lot bigger than the rainforest. Leftists being asked to show their vax card to buy food. Leftists being asked to show ID to vote. That's self-explanatory. I just thought, hey, I don't think Yoda's ever been on the show. Yeah. That's what young people who are embracing all of this nonsense really do need to realize. That we've seen this before in other countries, and we know it's coming here. If Liar's Pants really did catch on fire, the news would be much more fun to watch. Yeah. Hercules. I call the ladies muffins, because muffins is spelled backwards is. Let's go, Brandon. What a whiner. Yeah. I mean, the people who don't want to work, man, they want all that government handout. But you know what? The rate of inflation, it ain't going to be worth very much. The check you get, you're still probably going to have to scam the government and work. I know lots of people who did that. Oh, God. And here's my favorite. AOC lays wreath on her grave on January 6th. Oh, my God. Babylon B. And by now, we all know what's going on. Biden is a puppet. The far left is getting their way, and they don't care about us. If they did, they would be prioritizing that instead of this infighting and bickering over these social programs that aren't going to change anything right now. Same thing with Gavin Newsom. God, at least he's appointing some budget money to help with COVID and the spread of misinformation, and that'll come up in July. All right, so he's making news by saying, hey, by July I'm going to have some money. Great. Oh, God. These people, they only care about saying the right thing so they get elected again. We've seen it with Cruz and we've seen it with Biden. We see it with people like AOC and Swalwell who say, ooh, Florida won't get vaxxed. I hope they die. I'll let you know how many die when I'm down there on vacation. See it for what it is, man. Copious out.